Hello and welcome everyone. I got 5 tips for you today on how you can improve your aim in any FPS game. I decided to play Overwatch here. If you play Counter-Strike or Call of Duty or anything else, it doesn't really matter, these tips will still help you. At the end, it still comes down to practice. You have to play this game for a couple of hours in order to achieve the accuracy you want with the tips I give you here. And let's just jump right into it. Alright, let's start off with the first tip. And the first tip is gonna be always practice. And what I mean by that is, I just spawned here in Hollywood, and now I'm going to walk towards the A side to defend it. And this is a custom game, but normally my teammates would have spawned as well. So we go together to the side, and what we're going to do is we practice our aim with everything we find on our way. For example, these little boxes. I can easily track my aim here and maybe shoot it up, shoot it again in the air. And yeah, that's just small practice, but if you remember this most of the times and you're practicing like every spare minute you have in this game, you are going to improve your aim by a lot. I mean, really a lot. And what you can do is you can pre-aim on any item you find here. For example, there were 2 barrels standing here, I just shot them already. And let's see, this little thing here. What is this? A camera? Alright. And I can as well improve my aim on aiming on teammates. My teammates spawned right here behind this. And they're walking past me. And what I can do is I can track my crosshair on their head and track their movement while they walk by. Maybe shoot him once in a while, so you know you're right on his head. And you can do that with everything you find. For example, these little bottles here, or these TVs here, or what I love to do is these, I don't know what they're called, but they're really helpful if you want to improve your aim with practicing. Alright, that was the first tip, and let's move to the next one. Alright, the next tip is gonna be predict the enemy movement speed and pre-aim where they might appear. And what I mean by this is pretty easily. I'm standing here as a defender on Hollywood as a McCree, and the enemies are going to push through this hallway or this little chamber here, and they want to go on this point and capture it. And what I do as a McCree here is I want to pre-aim them. So if you're an attacker and you play as a Hanzo, you are most likely going to peek here, because that's pretty obvious, because you have this protection here. Or the enemy Hanzo is going to stand here and just do the spam zone, spam the shit out this room. And me as a defender, I want to pre-aim, because once this Hanzo appears, I have a couple of seconds where I can headshot him there. And if I have my mouse right here, there's no time I need to travel with the crosshair to the point I'm going to fire. And if I'm like, well, I look on the ground a little bit, and the Hanzo's coming at the car I just showed you, I'm going to do this here. And as you could see, this is not very accurate. One shot went here, one shot went here, and I can't even see it. So you want to stay here, you want to pre-aim this car here, or if you are going to move a little bit, you might take this angle and pre-aim that, or you want to peek here, so you have your crosshair already on the spot where the enemies appear. If you can, you might just saw this. I turned from this position to the other position, and my crosshair is pretty much it is already on the door. So once I move around this corner here, my crosshair is already in the perfect spot, so if I spot an enemy there, I have 1 millisecond or whatever my reaction time is. This time I have to just press this button. I don't have to move my mouse anymore. This job is done. All I have to do is shoot. Alright? This was tip number 2. Let's move to the next one. The next tip is going to be lower your mouse sensitivity. And what I mean by this is you are way more accurate, way more precisely if your aim is, if your sense is pretty low. And this is not, that's not true for every champion, I know, for every hero, because if you play as a Genji, for example, you want to be a bit more agile and want to turn around faster because you want to outplay them with his ninja skills and stuff. And I love to play McCree or Soldier or Widowmaker because they have such a high kill potential on a longer mid to long range. And the battles on a mid to long range are a little bit different to the battles that you take close to melee. And my tip is gonna be lower your mouse sensitivity. And the reason why is because if I play here as a McCree and the enemies have a Widowmaker, the enemy Widowmaker is most likely going to stay here, or maybe around here, or behind these trees here. And I have a pretty big mouse pad. My mouse pad is like 50 centimeters times 60 centimeters, I think. And my mouse sensitivity is already pretty low. Let's go check this. Oh, there's a side effect as well. You can go to options, controls, and can change the sensitivity for every champion for every hero you like. And I play on a mouse sense 6.07. Let's just change it to 6.0 so I don't get messy here. Like this. And my mouse is on 400 DPI, so my aim is not that fast, but not that good as well. And yeah, I like the settings. And if you play on higher settings, you might take in mind that you want to lower this, because let's just pretend I move my, or not pretend, I am going to do this. I'm moving my mouse like 1 centimeter on my mouse pad, and it's around this. And let's imagine I have a 20.0 sense. My crosshair would be on this position if I move 1 centimeter. And well, how does it help you? So let's just pretend you had a hangover, or you have a hangover, and you just woke up, and your whole body feels a little bit shaky. Your hands feel a little bit shaky, and you're sitting here like pretty much this. And if you have a lower mouse sense and you're sitting with shaking hands there, your movement on the with the mouse doesn't get affected to the crosshair. So if you have a lower sense and your hands shake, you are still accurate as fuck. So lower your mouse sense, but take it as low as you can make it, because super wooden aim doesn't help you a lot, especially if you are playing like an agile hero, for example Genji or Tracer. You want to have that sense a little bit higher than if you would play Widowmaker or something. Alright, that was tip number 3, and let's move to the 4th. Alright, tip number 4 is gonna be stay calm in overwhelming situations. Well, you might sit here and be like, the fuck is this guy talking about? I'm calm in every situation. But you might not. You wanna get used to these messy situations. You wanna get used to these big team fights where like 4 guys are focusing you and you're like running away and shooting on the while moving backwards and stuff. But if you do that over and over again for a couple of times, your brain remembers that situations and knows, I don't want to say it knows before you, but you have your movement already prepared for the next couple of seconds. And this is really helpful in this game, especially if you wanna if you play as a squishy target. And because of that, if the enemy Winston is jumping right on you and he gets boosted by, for example, an Ana ult, the nano boost, you are, yeah, well, you might think you are fucked. But if you had these situations over and over again, and this is pretty much the 20th, 30th time this Winston or any Winston is doing that, you have a backup plan. You have a plan B in order to so you can take the situation, use it as your advantage, and come out ahead. Alright, this was tip number 4, and let's move to the last one. Alright, let's come down to the last tip, and the last tip is gonna be a little bit different. It's not about practicing your aim in-game or anything, it's about practicing your aim on specific websites I'm going to post in the descriptions. These websites, I searched for them. They pretty much train, your reaction time. They train your tracking, mouse tracking, and they practice the aim overall. And I didn't think that would change a lot in my perspective, but I tried all of these 4 websites here. I tried all of them like 15 minutes and did the benchmark test at first, and just went to the sheep, this one here, and the aim booster with challenge. And this helped a lot, to be honest. Back in the days I played Counter-Strike, and I don't know if you know the ranks at Counter-Strike, but I was Legendary Eagle back in the days. And after that I went to a modded map on Counter-Strike, practiced my aim a little bit there, and I used these 4 websites. And as I already mentioned, I practiced them 15 minutes, but after that, maybe like 1 month after that, I was able to achieve the highest rank that's possible in Counter-Strike. So, and I felt safer with my aim. I felt really safer. And yeah, that's... I just had to mention that because that helped me a lot. People don't think that helps, but 15 minutes and your aim is gonna be a lot better. And yes, hope you liked the tips, hope you liked the video, and as always, if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment, and as well as subscribing to my channel, it would help me a lot. And yes, I see you guys in the next video.